Why, hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to season 2, episode 3 of streaming live from my living room. Um, I always do a thing where I dick with Facebook about 10 of 8, and I go on and I say, I'm going Facebook Live to tell you that I'm not going Facebook Live. And I didn't do that tonight because I'm going to be even more of an asshole this week. I'm actually going to go and do that video now. So you have to excuse me while I sneak around the corner here and turn that on. And I'm going to tell them that I'm not going to be live on Facebook, that they have to come over to YouTube, which I hope they do. But I'm going to stay live on Facebook like I don't know that I'm live, and they'll go fucking nuts, and they'll be posting, hey, he said he wasn't going to be live, but he's live, I don't understand, and they'll be posting these comments, and I won't see them, because I'll be over here on YouTube. I know it's childish and assholish, but that's what I'm in the mood to do, and that's what I'm going to do, so hang on right there. I'm going to go start this video. Now remember, pretend that I'm on Facebook. Howdy do, everyone. On Hatebook, I'm going live on Facebook to tell you that I will not be live on Facebook tonight. Streaming live from my living room is on YouTube only. So get your asses off of Hatebook. Get on over to YouTube. It's Mrs. Amishcomic's birthday celebration show. She'll be in the chat. I might be in and out of the chat. And that's it. If you're over here on Facebook, you're just going to miss out. So let me go shut this off now. All turned off. Hey, here we go. Greetings, folks. Again, it is live from my living room time. It was Mrs. Amishcomic's birthday, actually on Thursday, so it is her second pandemic birthday, and that kind of sucks batshit balls. So we'll be talking about that. I got my cheater notes right here. I also printed out whatever I did last year, which probably was only like episode 4 of streaming live from my living room. And somehow I didn't label it correctly, so it has the wrong date. So any shit I do right there. There's a train right on schedule. The old 810 clipping through Emmaus there. That's some fun stuff. So, what the hell was I talking about? Okay. Oh, Mrs. Amishcomic's birthday. See, here's the thing. Pandemic birthday. Those of you who have been with us this whole year, you know that we've been playing it safe, and so it was kind of difficult for me to sneak out into the world to get Mrs. Amishcomic a birthday present. Now I can point, click, and send something to the house, but then that's not all that exciting anyway, because it's not that I need permission, but whenever we leave the house, we are leaving as a couple, or I'm going to get a specific thing, like gasoline, curbside bourbon, groceries, whatever. So there's no sexy lingerie stores next to any of the normal curbside places that I go. Now, so another kick in the balls here for me was that the thing I ordered for my wife didn't arrive yet. Now, I know that sounds like a bunch of happy horse shit, but that's the truth of the matter. And I didn't tell her what it is, so she will have second birthday. So we had a wonderful birthday. We had a fun celebration. It's just weird to have pandemic birthdays, and to make matters even more fun, okay, today is Mrs. Amishcomic's 2-week of her second shot, so she can actually go out in the world places while I wait in the car. So that's pretty exciting right there. I will be getting a shot on Wednesday, and I don't know if it's going to be funny yet or not. So tune in next Saturday night to see if my shot is funny, but I don't really know if it will be. So again, the pandemic birthdays are very tricky. Here's the other thing that, and Mrs. Comic's behind the curtain here. She's not making a birthday appearance. She will ask for nothing. That makes it a tough birthday. When I say, "What do you want for your birthday?" She says, you you don't have to get me anything. So she won't tell me specifically what to get her because she doesn't want to spend the money on herself. So then I got to think about what's the stuff that she loves besides me. Gardening stuff. Like, I could technically get her 2 bags of potting soil and she'd be just completely delirious. But that's like 2 bags of dirt. And then the family will say, well, what did you get for your wife for her birthday? 2 bags of dirt. That makes me out to be a dick. She also did manage to say that she would like a 2-hook plant hanger. And again, that's a cast wrought iron thing that sticks in the ground with 2 fucking hooks on it. It's not really that great of a present. So her thing that I can't tell her about isn't here yet. And then our amazing daughter swoops in. You know her from Night Waltz Up Cycled. She had a plan to get Mrs. Comic a tree. If you know anything about her at all, it is the most fantastic gift you could give my wife is a tree. So my daughter and I plotted all week long, a couple weeks now, to go get a tree and just have me help go there and shove it in the Subaru and bring it back by surprise. And it worked. And it's, I don't know what the heck it is. It's an Akia Naka Huka Haka cherry flowering tree. There's no cherries on it. There's blossoms. It's all planted in the yard. It's going nuts already. And our amazing neighbor Tom said if you're going to plant that tree, you head on over to the Sean's Market there and get a couple of bags of earthworm castings to put in there. So I actually did. We suited up. We put masked up, went over and said, I need a couple of bags of earthworm castings. And the lady said, we don't have anything like that. I said, yes, you do. It's worm shit. And she said, oh, we have worm shit. So we got the bags of worm shit. And then went to the checkout line and there was a lady standing in the checkout line with her back to the cash register, and I had to say, excuse me, and she said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not in the line. And that's a bit from my show. The people stand in a fucking line and they're in the way and they're blocking things, and you go, excuse me, and she says, oh, I'm not in the line. Yes, you are in the fucking line. You don't know you're in the fucking line. That's the fucking problem. And I'm thinking, what the fuck did I been shopping for a whole fucking year? I didn't have to put up with any of this happy horse shit. I was fucking, oh. So I didn't miss any of that shit. So we got the bags of worm shit and the trees all planted. But before we did that, because I don't really know what I'm doing, YouTube videos. We put in the search engine, you know, how to plant the Akionaka cherry blossom tree, and the videos were so fucking entertaining. And people, you dig a hole and put the tree in, and you have to know how deep to make it, and that's pretty much it. The people tried to make it more interesting than it actually was. The one person, and he hit a rock, and then he goes, what's that? And he said, I hit a rock, and his wife was like, or a stone, we call them. Wow, what a fucking informative video that is. It's you can refer to the thing that hit the shovel as either a rock or a stone. Fuck me in a bucket of goo. Isn't that amazing? Then there was another guy, and he seemed like he was in like a condo or one of those places where you're not really allowed to, you have to pay groundskeeper fees, and they really just built a little town in a parking lot, and he hit, with a pitchfork, he hit fucking rock and like 3 inches down, and that was it. And then he was bragging at this little girl, saying, you know, this thing will be like, in like 12 years, this thing will be like 19 feet tall. And then she said, Well, by then I'll be 18 and I will be moving out. So these things were so fucking entertaining. Um, some of them, the other thing that pissed me off is they all had perfectly round holes, as though it was a cookie cutter came in and sucked the fucking dirt right out of there. So that was driving me over the cuckoo's nest. But we're all planted. Let's see here. I gotta peek down at my cheater notes here. Her gift hasn't shown up yet. Oh, here's the thing again too, and I think this is the guy thing. Um, I could technically get away. My wife is so amazing. I could technically get away with buying myself something for her birthday, and if I said it was for the live stream or my career, she would cheer me right on. It wouldn't even be a problem. So I lost my train of thought. Oh, guys don't think that way. When it's our birthday, we don't let you off the hook. We have, I myself, I turn into a real dick. I don't mean to, but everything I want is grand. So right away, it's like, what do you want for your birthday? Well, you can't afford what I want. I would like a Jaguar. I would like a $300 bottle of scotch. I would like to drink 2 German beers in actual Germany. So we really fucking milk the shit out of our birthdays. We use our birthdays as an excuse to get anything and everything we fucking want. My wife, the only teeny, I wouldn't even call it attention because she said, this was on her actual birthday, she said, should I bake a chocolate cake? And the answer to the question, should I bake a chocolate cake, is always yes. It's never no. So she made herself a chocolate cake, and I'm eating that all week long. And her daughter came over, and we had veg out, takeout, curbside. That's amazing. I'm still vegetarian. I can't even fucking believe that. So Mrs. Comic's birthday, boom, roasted. Guys are assholes. We want everything. Flick that note over there. Sparky's hiding in the shelf. She went nuts. She's going to hiss at me. Can you see her? Hi. She goes nuts for rehearsal. But then when it's time to go, I don't know if she doesn't like this new lighting or whatever. She's on the shelf over here. Are you coming out? Do a birthday hello? She's hissing at me. Birthday hello. I'll put her on this thing. I don't know if she's going to stay. Typically, her next move is to come back on my shoulder, and then she'll get pissed off. And now even she's filled with confusion because she's looking at a MacBook Pro here, going, how the fuck did you afford that? And an iPad over there so I can keep an eye on the chat. Boom, roasted. She's out. She's had it. That's enough. She's done with that. Okay, so back to my notes here. Oh, there's another thing that kind of sucks for my wife's birthday is historically we would go to see something in New York City. Not necessarily a Broadway show, but like a one-off of something. A singular event that you just go because it's a limited run and that's when you go. As she hit a whole bunch of great years of seeing like Philip Glass around her birthday, Iggy Pop around her birthday, whatever it is, and now nothing. And that kind of sucks a little bit too because if it's around someone's birthday and it's a singular event, you were going to it anyway. So it's like, it just happened to be, well, we're going, it's your birthday. But there's a nice meal provided there. So we miss that, the New York shows. So there's that. We got her 2-week anniversary of the second shot. This doesn't sound like a good birthday gift, but for my wife and for myself, this is historic. This is huge. This is huge. I filed our taxes early for the first time in the history of me. And my wife worries about that shit because every single year, because we have to pay in a fucking few $1,000, I wait to the extreme last second to file. And them fuckers just suck that money right out of the checking account. As it turns out, is that if you only have 2 gigs last year, taxes were easy. I could have done them in my fucking head. It was just the most ridiculous thing I ever did in my life. I couldn't believe how fucking easy they were. And you and I used the same software every year, so my tax software knows me, and I don't have to enter new shit. It just pulls up all the shit from 2019, and it's the same. Did you get a 1099 from Arts Quest? Yes. Did you get a 1099 from Harrisburg Comedy Zone? Yes. You put all the shit. It's all in there. But my taxes are so used to me not filing on time. The first message I got was, would you like to file for an extension like you always do? No, I do not. And right away, that's a red flag. And then I had to do capture, like every fucking 10 minutes I had to identify planes, trains, and automobiles, like every fucking 9 minutes, because they're like, something's fucking wrong. This guy's filing his taxes on time. Early even, I kept getting warnings. They moved the tax thing back. You have actual till May, and you always wait to the very last second. We don't fucking understand what's going on here. So capture every fucking 10 minutes. Boats, I had to pick them out. Crosswalks, fucking every trees, every kind of thing to pick out. As we collapse through this thing, I'd put in the figures. It would ask me. They'd say, last year you wrote off 38,000 driving miles to and from wherever the hell you're going, and this year you wrote off 43 miles. Is that correct? And then yes, and then it's mocking me. It's like, you wrote off like 5 oil changes last year. This year you don't even qualify for 1 fucking oil change. So they're going through this thing. As it turns out, if you're in my business and you only work 2 gigs, you actually I'm getting some sort of refund back. I don't know what it is, but this is a red flag. Alarms are going off. They know I must be a fucking crook, because there's no possible way I could be getting a refund. And the thing kept rejecting me, and red flags and alarms and fucking shit going off. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Doesn't the tax program know we're in a fucking pandemic? If I reported 2 gigs from last year and also 38,000 commuter miles, that should raise a red flag. Not fucking 43. I tried to write off my steps walking back and forth here, fucking chasing Sparky all around. This thing was driving me fucking batshit crazy. I had nothing to write off, no opening acts, nothing. I did actually write off all my streaming equipment. I got cameras here and all this and that shit. My shower curtains I got to write off. So I'm losing my mind here. It was the most fun I ever had filing taxes. They've never been done on time. Ever, 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 never. And then, see, I'm getting ahead of myself here. When it goes through all the checkpoints, and then the tax software says everything looks good, and then it says here's a red flag, and you got to check this before we file. And it said everything looks good, green light. Let's file this shit. Let's get this bitch going. So we went through the check, and then we went boom, and we sent it. And guess what? Rejected. Fucking rejected. When I have to pay thousands of dollars in, my taxes are always accepted online while my finger is still hovering over the thumb or the mouse pad. They go, oh, he owes us $3,000. We'll take that, and it's sucked right on the fucking checking account before I can even fix my knuckles from coming off the thing. But the year I'm supposed to get money back, fucking rejected. It got kicked back from the fucking IRS, and I knew what it was. It was just because all my questions were fucking different, and I'm losing my fucking mind. So finally, I decide to go back in and resubmit it. Fucking rejected again. And nobody really can believe that I'm getting money back. That upset the whole universe. So finally, I called up the TurboTax people, right? And then it's hard to get a person, and they say, well, we can teach you how to fix this online. And I said, no, I already tried to fix it online. I need to talk to a person. So I finally got a person, okay. And I don't know if you folks are familiar with the show Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. I'm going to talk about that in another rant. But that's what this was, because, see, my tax technician was a female doppelganger of me. And I thought this must be just beyond belief. Did the Amish guy really get a female version of himself as a tax representative to push this fucking thing through, and her name happened to be Ramona, or was he just fucking you up? Because her name was Ramona, and she sidestepped the whole fucking system. She actually looked at my computer screen and was clicking things, and I just had to follow her all around here, and she might be in the chat. I don't fucking know. She rammed that fucker through, and she said if it gets kicked out, try this move. That's amazing, because the tax person that you're dealing with never really says, try this move. That's the kind of shit that we pull off. So after all this happy horse shit went on, and Ramona, female doppelganger me, cursing up a storm in the phone on my behalf, I'm thinking, well, this is kind of amazing. It shot right through. I can't fucking believe it. Eventually we'll get a refund for $38. I don't fucking know. I'm stunned. That was actually part of my wife's birthday gift. There it is. Here's what made me go fucking nuts. The glitch in the software. This isn't really funny, but it was part of my week. I kept getting error messages that since you were rejected online, you can print it out and mail it in. Why the fuck would I want to print it out? I want to e-file. I don't want to print out 85 fucking pages and suck up my printer ink. I run out of printer ink here and I got to fucking cartoon everything. That's when I had to call doppelganger me, Ramona, push this fucker through. Taxes, boom, roasted. CAPTCHA, picked out all the crosswalks. Boom, roasted. There we go. Fantastic. Thank you, doppelganger me. If you're watching, Ramona. Her name was fucking Ramona. That's fucked up.
She's a stand-up comedian.
Yes, right. She was a stand-up comedian. So that was kind of, maybe she felt like she had to help me. That's the part that made me think that we made all this up and it was beyond belief, fact or fiction. So there we go. Female doppelganger me. Oh, here's another fun one. This is a sign that things are getting better. I fell asleep watching TV before 11 o'clock. You know how many times I've fallen asleep watching TV in the last 25 years? Fucking one. And that was it. I don't know if I was relaxed. I know I wasn't doped up. I fell asleep. And that might not sound like much, but to me, that's a sign that things are getting better. And I've also been having what I call pandemic nightmares. And that's another fucked up thing because I don't have nightmares. I have crazy dreams that solve problems in my life. I should pay my dreams like $80 an hour for therapy. If I hate someone, I'll dream that I cut their feet off and just threw them over the cliff. And I wake up, oh shit, that didn't really happen. So I've been having what I call pandemic nightmares. I dreamed that on this day, on Saturday, I woke up and for reasons I couldn't tell you, I shaved off my entire beard on fucking streaming day. That's my whole career there. I can't fucking stream without my beard. I'm losing in the dream. It was fucking horrible. And I looked in the mirror and I put my hat on and I looked like a fish in a hat and I'm fucking freaking out here. And I started to crazy glue these shaved beard hairs onto my fucking face. And I also had a Sharpie, and I should have used the Sharpie first because I could have Sharpied, and if that sucked, I could have glued on top of it. But once I glued my own beard hairs back onto my face, it was just fucking horrible. And then I woke up. Oh, thank God. I'm stroking my own beard, and I'm nuts thinking, what if I go nuts and I do that in the day? So then I had another dream that I was texting with my curbside pickup shopper. I don't know if you do groceries, but they can text you substitutions, and then you got to sit there and look on the phone. And in the dream, I was picking really stupid substitutions, like, we don't have Pop-Tarts. Would you like a 12-pack of size D batteries, the really big ones? And I'm there, yeah, that's fucking great. And this went on, and then it seemed like I didn't order any food. I just got all like spick and span and shit instead of Twinkies. And then I woke up and I was really doing it because they were getting my order ready in the morning, and I was like auto texting, and that wasn't a dream. I was actually really fucking doing it. So I was in terror to go see what I picked up, and I did get some extra batteries, but I offered them to Keith from the radio, and so they're off the table there. Which brings me to Keith. Don't know why I don't plug it, but it's Thursdays on the Keith Show since forever. We have so much fun, and the afternoon show is way different. I'm supposed to, if I want to help them out, keep my whatever I'm talking about into a block of like a minute, maybe 90 seconds, and I can take a 3 minute bit and whack it up into 3 minutes, 1 minute bits, and then do it throughout the day. But so I will take whatever a block is. It might be a 5 minute rant, and I'll try to chop it down into like a couple 1 minute increments, and then when we're done recording, I will tell Keith that's a shorter version of a longer bit, and then I will say bibbity bobbity boo in a bucket of goo, and he'll go, that's really funny. So apparently I'm cutting out the funniest bits for him for on the radio. So that kind of makes me out to be a dick. Happens every week. I'll say the longer version of that. I say bibbity bobbity boo in a bucket of goo, and then he'll actually laugh and he goes, that's hysterical. Yeah, well, that's the fucking part I cut out because I'm a dick. How about that? Fuck me in a bucket of goo. Okay, there's Nightmares. There's Keith Show. My wife screams, and this is nothing naughty. It's when things surprise her. She screams. Horror movies are looking for her scream, and the scream doesn't necessarily match up to whatever the thing is that's wrong. Today, she was in the kitchen and she screamed. My immediate thoughts were something bad happened to the chocolate cake. But what it was she got up and went into the kitchen, and there was a bird flying around in the kitchen, and it wasn't Sparky. It was a bird from the outside because it's starting to get hot, and they get a little smoke at the stove there, and we open up the fan at the stove, and there's no screen in there, and there's actually no fan in there right now, and a bird fucking flew in there and flew around in the kitchen, and guess what? It did it last year, so now we're on second weird shit happening pandemic. Bird flying around in the kitchen, 2 years, boom, roasted. There you go. That's kind of amazing.
They said Sparky keeps peeking around.
Sparky keeps peeking around. Let's see. See if I can do something here. Does this work? I moved the YouTube camera so you can get a little better peek of Sparky's pulling off shit. I'm going to get hell for this later on. All right, that's cool. Well, I think when I get worked up, she peeks around the corner. But then when she comes over, then I got to go back into Weekend at Bernie's. So now we're going through things here. Some more notes. Bibbity bobbity boo. I had, things that are trending on Twitter. And I try to find fun stuff because there's a lot of hell trending over there. There is a ketchup packet shortage. So when you go out in the world, know this, that when you, whatever you're doing, and you want them extra packets of ketchup, you'd probably get buck you in a bucket of goo. So take your own fucking ketchup. Try to roll with whatever's going on. Ketchup pack.
Here's your reminder. Turn off Facebook Live 3 preview and make everyone come over to YouTube.
Do you hear Baboomsa? Baboomsa's saying, here's your reminder. Turn off Facebook
Here's a
preview
reminder.
and get everyone to
Turn off
come
Facebook
over to
link free
YouTube.
preview and
I
make
knew I
everyone
was
come over
fucking
to
in there. I was fucking with you. I knew I was in there. I see people in the chat that didn't fucking listen and they're watching on Facebook. I'm not turning it off because that's way the fuck over there. I fucking knew. I fucked with you. YouTube people were in on the joke. They were in on an inside joke against you, and you could have been part of it. You could have been in the chat with Mrs. Comic right now, and I might be in the chat later on. So you people on Facebook, ha ha ha, April fucking Fools, boom, roasted. Ha ha. I know it kind of makes me a dick, but well, fuck. All right. I also see some donations coming in here, and if you came in early this week for Mrs. Amishcomic's birthday, so much thanks. I don't thank you enough for donations. We watched another Wheel of Time show, Dusty Wheel, and when donations come in, he almost cries and starts writing thank you letters like on the show. He really doesn't have down the fine art of begging for money and accepting it like it's just fucking entitlement. So I'm working with him on that. But we do appreciate it, and if we miss any comments, it's so appreciated. But we're moving on here. Back to things that are trending on Twitter. Golf courses apparently have become too small because they were originally designed for fat, lazy slobs that were out of shape and didn't have any muscles. And now the younger, stronger generation, the more powerful athletes who wanted to play Major League Baseball, but they weren't big enough because they didn't shoot up fucking steroids. They're golfing and shit, and they are hitting the ball too hard, and it's flying onto the next hole. And they're asking these young, strong golfers, which my nephew would be one of them, to shorten his stroke. Get the fuck out of here. You can't ask somebody to hit a golf ball not as hard. It's a real fucking crisis. They don't know how to just lengthen the golf course. This kind of shit makes me laugh because golfing is sort of a waste of farmland, but they're trying to solve that. That's trending on Twitter. Some things trend on Twitter, and I don't even know specifically why. Levi's, jeans, Levi's is trending on Twitter, and it just gave me a flashback of growing up Amish. I pleaded my case for Levi's 501s with the button down fly. They didn't have a zipper. I thought it was a loophole in the system. It didn't fucking work, but what's trending on Twitter? Boom, roasted. All right, here we go. Oh, just so you know, I have no control of me. We're all taking pictures of everything. I do it all the time. My wife's so amazing. She'll make me French toast like today. I'm in show mode. I actually prepare for this. It might not seem like I do, but I do. And I set up my workshop. And she's making me French toast, right? And it comes in. And I'm so appreciative. If I don't eat, that's a bad thing right there. Cooking for me, who's still only a year being vegetarian, is a little bit of a trick. And before I eat, I fucking take pictures of the food. And I know I should eat it, but I take pictures of it, and I put it on Instagram, and I put it on Facebook, and we all do it. We're taking pictures of our food, and we're taking pictures of our beer, and we're taking pictures of every fucking thing that there is. And then I had a flashback to, I don't know who remembers this, but when I first came to the city, there was no real technology. And does anybody remember this? People used to take Polaroid pictures of dead people in caskets as a keepsake, and then they would sign it and they would fucking hand them out to people, and you would go to someone's house and there'd be fucking terrifying fucking picture laying on the fucking coffee table or the bookshelf, fucking dead people in their coffins. I really sucked all the joy out of this comedy show here tonight, but it's just, we don't really need to take pictures of everything. That should have been a fine example to me. And again, that is a good commercial for my people who don't really believe in taking pictures of anything. All right. Polaroids of dead people in the coffin there. Moyer's bit is next. Let's see here. I can't. I'm still stalling here. Let's see. I'm going through things. Here we go. I peeked through. I'm trying to peek through or see what I did with this show last year around this time. And I printed out a set list here of stuff. Uh, and the stuff that I did, I can't even do it now because I don't know why it was funny then, which means there's no hope of me making it funny now. I do know that these clackers, I keep whacking my head into my own balls, as it were, hanging up there. So I got my set list here. I've been actually doing a little bit of stalling. I've been waiting for Clee's sister. Now, I don't think she is in
She's not here yet.
the chat yet. So when she gets here, I have a surprise for her. And if she doesn't see this until the replay, when she gets to this part where I say I have a surprise for her, and it's really a surprise for all of you too, she's going to lose her fucking mind because she's in there like clockwork every week. I send a donation in and she says, I'm excited for the show, but I'm going to be a little late. So Clee's sister, in the best possible way, is fucking up the plan I had for this show right now. So I'm going to stall a little bit. I'm going to hang out. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. This is going to fuck over the Facebook Live people. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take an intermission and go and have a peek in the chat. And last time I did that, my wife pointed out to me that I am on an extreme delay, and by the time my intermission makes it over to YouTube, I will think nobody's fucking paying attention to me. So there it is. There's the intermission. People over on Facebook, you're really missing out because now I'm in the chat right now, and you could get over there. I see there's people on Facebook Live, but I'm over here in the chat saying hello to folks. I should talk, but I'm not gonna. But I just talked and said I wasn't gonna talk, and that's actually talking.
Right, your clackers were rocking. Eddie Lane stuff.
My clackers were rocking. There they were. I whacked them in the head. Let's see. And then when I say, here's the thing that makes me a dick, because I say I'm going to be in the chat, and then I don't really know how to do this. I'm scrolling through the chat now. There's Eric P. Then it says happy birthday. That means that, wife, that is a $50 donation in the chat. And happy birthday means that's for you. There's no way in hell that's for me. So there's some loot there. I've scrolled through the chat. There's Kevin Keller's in the chat. Terry Bingaman. I never know how to say his name. I don't know why there's Stevens in there. All these folks are in there. I'm saying hello. Eddie Lane's in the house. David Keish. That's another one. I don't know how to say your name. So forgive me there. Let's see. There is, esoteric to you. Why, hello, Raymond. I'm saying it. See, I think you guys can hear me. And
Yeah, we can hear you.
and so I don't have to type, because if we have to wait for me to type, it's going to be like a fucking 9-hour thing going on here. Now, I'm peeking over and I'm still live on Facebook. I'm still waiting for Clee's sister, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scroll this thing back. There's Matt Moyer. Why, hello. Eddie Lane's down in Florida. That's probably fucking hot down there, ain't it? See, I'm going to go live again here. See, because I think Facebook has seen the top of my hat long enough. Here's live scene. I'm back. I still see, let me go over some shit from last year that I did.
Jerry said, Raymond, you said my name right.
Terry Bingham, now I can't say it. I said Terry Bingham's name right the first time, and then my wife said that I said it right. Now I can't fucking say it. That's how it is. Oh, that's another thing, and I talked about it before. I don't know how to talk to people anymore when I go out in the world. The words just fly out the wrong way, this way and that. That will hopefully come back to me. So we'll be doing that. I'm peeking through my set list from last year of this time. Oh. Ba-boomsa! Quiet! Alexa, stop!
Eric P. just mentioned you.
Is that okay? Is that a new donation from Eric P? Is he going fucking crazy in the chat here with holy smoke? Well, we love you too. That's fantastic. That's badass. I forgot to whore my Patreon. I am so behind on everything. Taxes fuck me up. Trying to do stuff. I blame my wife for her birthday, but I did fucking nothing for her birthday. I have show footage from Steel Stacks that is going to my Patreons. I was going to do it today, but it takes 1,000,000 hours to render the video. So if I do that, I'm going to fuck up my equipment, so I won't be able to do that. But get on over on the Patreon for even $3, and then you can fucking cancel it. Because I'm going to be dropping the Arts Quest show on there. Audience isn't mic'd up, but it looks good. I think it sounds good. And I'll be working on that this week as I slowly get my life somewhat back together. Man, I just wish Clee's sister, where are you? Does anybody know Clee's sister? Give her a fucking call and tell her to get in the chat here. She's, I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Is that if you know who Clee's sister is, right? Clee, my buddy from the old hippie days. We lost him whatever year it was. I can't even remember. Amazing guy. Forced me to cartoon and write. We had so much fun together.
Did one of your artwork for your shirt?
He did all the artwork for my shirts. Really a fun person, and it was nice to connect with Clee's sister here in the live stream. Another friend, Mazeppa, who was also friends with Clee, got a hold of me and said because he used to write for a fanzine, and I should have more information on that. He has an envelope in a box. If you have boxes with shit in them in your garage, don't throw it away. He has scripts that Clee submitted, 2 short stories to his fanzine. They were actually typed on a typewriter. Now, also, this envelope was dated May of 1988. I know what you're thinking. It just arrived. No, it's been sitting in that fucking box forever. And he gave it to me. I'm going to be reading some excerpts from some of these short stories. But I'm not going to. We're not doing it without Clee's sister. There's no way that's going to happen. But I can tell you this. That's fun. Clee took an envelope that was addressed to him, and he reused it like we all do. But instead of putting tape over everything, he just crossed shit out and then wrote the shit in like this, addressed to him down here, and he crossed that out, and then he put in addressed to Mazeppa's City of Fear down here, and then over here he crossed that thing out, and then he put Mr. Mark over there, and then it says City of Fear, ASC, P.O. Box 421. ASC is code for something fucking weird. Like it tells, it's like address, search, check, something. I didn't even fucking know that existed. That's postal code for, hey, it might be the wrong fucking address. Double check it. That's fucking badass. And if we have to do that next week, then fuck it, then we'll do it next week. So while I'm stalling here, the show is sort of kind of over. If there's any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm going to peek through my notes here and see stuff that I said last year. Because, hell, you would have had to forget it by now. Let's see. There's that. I think there's still some Facebook confusion. If anybody's watching over there, you're really missing out on the chat over here because Mrs. Comic's in the chat. That's fucking badass there. Whew. Sparky's being a dickhead. Dickhead! That's what she calls me. I'm gonna go through stuff here. I'm not even actually gonna perform it. I'm mildly organized. I have my set list from all of season 1, and I have them for now, but I don't do a review anymore. I just figure, fuck it. I'll try to remember what I did last week and not do it again this week. And if I do it again this week, who really gives a fuck, right? Oh, I know. I made some other notes here before I get to last year's shit. There's some stuff that since pandemic has happened, we don't give a fuck about anymore, or at least I don't. Something that used to make me just fucking nuts is these movies that stream would say watch it on like HBO Go before it's in theaters. And I always assumed if you were willing to do that, the movie has to suck. Because why would you release a really excellent movie and stop people from going into the theater and give it to them free? But I've come to change my mind on that because now we're not allowed to go to movies. And so even if they give us a movie and it sucks, I think we'll go see it in the theater when it's in there just so we can say, fuck it, man, I got to see this thing in the theater. All right? That's just my own mental disorder here. That has nothing to do with you folks. Let's see my set list here. Okay, see, I didn't even do the welcome greeting. There's supposed to be a welcome greeting. Say hello, tell us what you're drinking, introduce yourself. Fuck it. I lost all my manners because I'm not used to being around people. So that's in there. I mocked the night talk show format where they come out and they go, hey, we got a great show for you tonight. Because I don't fucking know if we have a great show. Who the fuck could say that? Can they come out and they do that thing where they walk back and forth? I can't walk back and forth. I don't have no fucking room here. So I never really made the announcement, hey, we got a great show for you tonight. So that's in there. And then I have, let's see. Oh, the Netflix mock where you're watching so long and the screen freezes and said, are you still there? Yeah, I'm still here. Don't you fucking see me? I thought we had a relationship. That's in there from the anniversary show. Let's see. I'm out of work. Please donate. I don't think there's any shortage of me saying that ever. But donations, I don't know how I fucking made it. I really don't know how. Well, I do know how I made it. You guys kick fucking ass. So that's absolutely amazing. Let's see. I always text my wife when I arrive at the show. I don't get to fucking do that anymore because she's back there. Actually, I do sometimes now. I'm here or there. So that was in my notes from before. Let's see. Oh, baby.
Matt Moyer's drinking tequila sunrise.
Matt Moyer's drinking tequila sunrise. All right, I'm going to be fucking drinking something tonight. I don't know what. Let's see. Here we go. Wife's birthday and her other birthdays. Deferral birthday. That I have to owe her a really excellent birthday next year because this pandemic birthday sucks batshit balls from last year. And it's happened again. How about that? Fuck me in a bucket of goo. So there's that. And then I went on a rant about, for people that have way too much money, that pisses me off too. When people buy shit and they have too much money, I get so fucking mad because somehow I feel like I should have that money. In my own neighborhood, over in the Parkway, I don't know if you live around the Allentown area or drive through the Parkway, there was a mansion. It's off one of the back roads at the upper end of the Parkway, and they had 2 or 3 golfing men statues, like just. They couldn't have been cheap because they looked really fucking real. They looked so fucking real. I'm thinking, how much money do you have that you can afford to buy statue golfing friends that just sit on a fucking bench and walk around? And then I went nuts and I went over to take our daughter to show her, and the house was fucking gone. And the golfers were gone, and it was scary as fuck. The plot was there. I don't know how you just get rid of a house altogether. It was just fucking dirt. That scared the fuck out of me. So that's in there. Let's see.
Eric P. said, do the pour water.
Do the what?
Pour water.
Oh, do the pour water. All right. That's a good request right there. I don't have the official jar, but I do have the thing. Now, apparently this is very entertaining, except to the point where it makes people have to pee. So I pour this in there, and then if I had a jar... wife, remind me next week to use the jar because I can pour this fucker back and forth all night long. but I don't trust myself to pour it back in this thing right now. So there we go. I could drink a lot, then I'd have to pee. So there we go. We do request. Pour the water. That's fucking badass right there. I appreciate that. Back to my notes from a year ago. Let's see. We got the wife's birthday. Let's see. Oh, this gets to where everybody's nuts. We were early into the quarantine, and we had the two groups: people that were masked up and the people that were not masked up, and that hasn't really changed much at all. So that's come back to haunt me. Let's see here. Oh, this is funny because this is my set list with my own notes about how I did that week. That isn't that much of a dick that I am that I looked and I put in here. After like 8 minutes into the show, I started to cook. It was just started a little bit slow, and then 8 minutes in, pow! I started to fucking cook. No real details there. I didn't really give myself a recipe for how I could cook now, but there's that. So let's see. We got lots of birthday wife wishes in the chat. That's badass right there. And then we have that again this year.
Richter just got here. He said his car broke down.
Richter's in the house. Bourbon balls. Richter is Richter. We got a Zoom this week if I can. Like I said, I'm getting a shot Wednesday, and if I throw up and get all kinds of horrible shit wrong with me, we have to either have our Zoom early in the week, or hey, it might be fun for you to Zoom with me if I'm in pain and agony. Maybe I don't want to cancel a show. Maybe I just want to be fucking doubled over on the couch. Richter likes bourbon balls, not anything in a sexual way. It's just that I said it one week, and he likes the phrase bourbon balls, and I'm biting back a hiccup there. And so there we got that. I was going, Richter, you missed a lot of shit. But I'm holding back on something. We're waiting for Clee's sister also. If she shows up tonight, the show's going to get longer. And if she doesn't show up soon, well, fuck it. We'll do it next week. But I want to get Richter caught up a little bit. Richter, what I did was on Facebook, I always go on like 7:45 and I say, I'm live on Facebook to tell you that I won't be live on Facebook. And then I shut it down and chase him over here. Well, tonight I stayed on Facebook Live and pretended like I didn't know I was on there. And them fuckers are still on there right now. So they bought it. They fell for it. And a few of them are in there. If they ever see me, they'll probably beat the shit out of me. I don't really care at the moment because I'm safely hiding. Here we got this here. Notes. See, this... The problem with notes from last year is the shit just isn't funny because I must have knew how to say it. I am lucky that I can stream. That is from the heart. That I can do something. Babble now, and somehow this is entertaining, or it isn't. I don't really know. But people always tell you have to appreciate what you have. I always fucking have. I always have. I really love my life. I have an amazing family, beautiful wife. I have a happy life. So I do appreciate what I have. I always wanted to do stand-up comedy. And I was happy that I could stream because in the notes here, some jobs cannot stream. Like barbers can't stream. Doctors, turn your head and cough, they can stream. So that's a note in there. Let's see. 28 years experience in comedy, but only 3 hours of streaming live. That's kind of funny, the way I look at it, because if you like my show, or if you don't like my show, I'm cocky. I kind of know what I'm doing. And when I perform, I assume that most people will be fans of my show. And having a 28-year career, there's a little bit of cockiness there. But last year at this time, I had like only 3 hours of live streaming experience. I'm in season 2, episode 3. I'm a cocky streaming motherfucker right now. Let me tell you that. Now I just panicked because I didn't really know what to say after that. So you gotta be careful when you brag. bad shit can happen. Let's see. Oh, we were waiting for stimulus checks last year at this time, and again, there you go. It's the anniversary of waiting for stimulus checks. There's that. I did a goof on the Beatles' White Album song, and I can't fucking remember what it is. It had something to do with, I don't know. Oh, they turned into like a real whiny bitch. But again, last year I was prepared for that, and this year I am not prepared. I'm telling you something right now. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm babbling. Nothing is funny, and I'm having a wonderful time. Richter just got here as far as he's concerned. Is only fucking 5 minutes into the show. This is some weird shit. Definitely I'm going to have to pee soon.
I think it was like a cat meow or something.
That's right. My wife was back to saying, like, when they were going over that, oh, swallow my guitar, gently weeps. It's all serious, and then all of a sudden they turn into like a whiny bitch, and I was trying to figure out how they got to the whiny bitch part, and then my wife reminded me, it was like, no, say it more like a whiny, more of like a cat meow. I don't know, meow. It wasn't that funny then, and it's certainly not funny this year. So fuck me in a bucket of goo. Boom, roasted. Beatles' White Album. The other funny thing on the Beatles' White Album for me was Helter Skelter. Of course, Manson went fucking nuts and put swastikas on his head and just hacked people up based on that song. And it turns out that song was written about a roller coaster. So, interpretation, do your homework. So,
Sparky's dancing behind the backdrop.
are you? Sparky's getting worked up? She probably was waiting for Richter, weren't you? All right, there you go. Let's see. Here we go. Quarantined April last year. I have a note in here that I even missed hell gigs, and I might as well talk about the one that's in the notes here. Wildwood, New Jersey hell gig. I've never really been a big fan of the beach, but I got tricked into doing a whole week of shows at Wildwood, New Jersey. It would be like a working vacation. It was really shitty money. Our daughter was really fucking little, and she wouldn't know that we were staying in a shitty room. And the ocean down there is 5,000 fucking miles away from the boardwalk. You can just get a fucking sunburn walking from the boardwalk to the ocean. My ass was so sunburned till we got down the fucking ocean. I never was ready to fucking go home. And they have those tram cars on the fucking boardwalk that scare the fuck out of you. People are spending $45 in a hot dog and a Coke, and then they hear an announcement, watch out for the tram car, watch out for the tram car. If I can get people to give me $45 for a hot dog and a Coke, you wouldn't have to worry about getting run over by a train. I would hire people to clear those fucking tracks for you. So that was a hell gig down there, and then, I'm not making this shit up, when I got into the hotel room, wife and daughter, I'm like a kid in a candy shop. I started turning on lights, flipping on switches, TVs, air conditioning. No juice in that room at all. I pick up the phone to complain. Fucking dead, nothing. First night, I went down to the front desk, and I never met this guy before. So you don't want to be a dick right. I'm saying, I don't want to be a pain in the ass my first night here, but nothing in my room that turns on. Oh, you're the Amish guy. We turned off all that shit to make you feel at home. Not fucking making it up, and since he went to all that trouble, I had to be polite. Oh, how thoughtful. But if you really want to make me feel at home, you could stock my room with a case of hard cider, a blow-up farm animal, and a whip. Now turn that shit back on. All right? There you go.
John Richter
Boom.
sent $10 and said, keep going.
Richter, all right. Richter's in the house. As far as I'm concerned, the show just fucking started. Thank you. That's very nice. And anybody else, if you have to go anywhere, well, you're lucky. I mean, who the fuck has any place to go right now? So if you have some place to go and you want to go, just fucking go. That's fine. Going back into my notes here. Let's see. Beatles' White Album, Hell Gigs in Wildwood, New Jersey. Let's see here. Lancaster Jeep story. I think I just told that recently, but it's in my fucking notes from the anniversary of last year, so I'll do it. So, some of you have seen my beautiful wife, and just on the birthday wall on the Facebook, people were posting, "Oh my God!" To our daughter, they posted a picture of with the tree and everything. Your mother is so beautiful. She looks so young. And then people always ask me, "How did I get her?" And I don't know that I actually really got her, but technically I have her, and she's really been held hostage here for at least for the last year and beyond that. So I know my wife's beautiful. So we are in Lancaster. It's show day. We have a Jeep with top off, and my wife is busty. Busty runs in her family. That's a little clue for anybody out there who's looking to date someone. See how their mother looks, because my wife's mother was hot. I'm like, oh my God, this is how she's gonna look when she's older. That's fucking amazing. It's like a preview there. So we're in Lancaster. It's show day. I got a soft top Jeep. It's off. I got Guns N' Roses. There's Frank Zappa's playing there. My wife's got a Guns N' Roses tank top on, and her knockers are hanging out of there. And I pull up to a 4-way intersection. I'm not making this up. And across the way was an Amish buggy couple, and the guy was kind of looking at me, and I could read his lips a teeny little bit, and I think he turned to his wife and said, "You see, that's how I would look if I were happy."
Susan's here.
Clee's sister's here. Oh my God, this is amazing. The show has just begun. Clee's sister, we've been waiting for you. I will tell you this, which I have told them. A friend of mine, Mazeppa, that was friends with Clee, and our ages didn't really match up all that well, so I connected with him later in life. Mazeppa met Clee over on the college radio station. I believe that's where they became friends. And Mazeppa wrote a fanzine. I don't even know what that means, but he wrote City of Fear. Clee wrote content for a show for no fucking money. He just wrote something and he mailed it to him. And Mazeppa had this envelope in a box since May 1988, and he dropped it off at my house. And they're short stories, and they're nuts. I'm going to do a couple excerpts tonight. And Clee's sister getting caught up here. Your brother, Clee, took an envelope that was mailed to him, and he used it. And we all do it. You tape things out and you crayon things out. He did the most minimal thing. He just crossed out his name and address here and readdressed it there, and then wrote in ASC. That is, I don't remember what it is. It tells the post office something's fucked up with the address, and you have to double check it. That's what ASC means. So he did that, and he crossed it out here, and he wrote this stuff. I'm so excited. And please, sister, you will get copies of this, but there's only I think there's 2 very short stories, but he wrote them on a fucking typewriter. On a fucking typewriter. And there's not that many mistakes. That melts my brain. You will get a copy of this. And I read a couple things to our daughter, and she was sure this was because there was pre-marijuana days with Clee and post-marijuana days. These are clearly marijuana days that this shit was written. So, and I'm also thinking that anybody who was friends with Clee's parents have some of these in a box somewhere. Don't fucking throw boxes away. Look through them. I'm so excited here. The fanzine that he wrote this for was City of Fear. Apparently it never got published. Now, as I've said before, this isn't my regular comedy show, and we're hanging out, and you get to see things that people would not see in a normal show. I am 62 years old. I'm ready to become 63 years old in May, so I wear old man reading glasses when I can't print shit really big, and I selected the Harry Potters. So that's what I got right now. I am going to read to you a couple of excerpts from Clee submitted this to the fanzine. I don't know whether it actually got published or not, but I'm going to probably do a full read on these, probably for Patreons. That's another reason to get over there. But I wish I would have fucking had these for scary stories by the campfire. And again, that's me being a dick, because I should just be grateful that this fucking... Thinking that this landed on my fucking doorstep, postmarked May 1988. That's a lot of time. So this first story he submitted was called Bedtime Story Saved for Later. That's funny. Bedtime Story Saved for Later. And I think this is sort of like a character-driven story, so I'm only going to give you a couple of sentences here. Once upon a time, there were a couple of tough guy murder stories. Now, I will pause there so you can process that idea. It's not once upon a time there were a couple of tough guy murderers. Once upon a time there were a couple of tough guy murder stories. Now, Clee's mind has given life to the murder story itself. You understand that? It's a murder story, and Clee's mind had that thing be alive. The murder story had a life of its own, and that's how he fucking thought. Once upon a time, there were a couple of tough guy murder stories who jumped a third story and stole its plot and some of its characters. That's as fucking crazy as I am. A murder story has a life of its own. It leaped into another story and stole the plot line and some of the characters. And I just can't even believe it. Nobody beat the shit out of us, because this is how we ran around. Okay, and then it goes on to say here, the third story was a Western. That's a plot twist right there. And one of its stolen characters was a ghost cowboy named Dead Edgar. Ghost cowboy named Dead Edgar, who appeared in graveyards and churches to frighten away all the men who were seeing his widow. That is revenge writing right there. That a ghost cowboy is going to terrorize men that you think are banging off your widow. That's some weighty shit right there. Plus, we used to really like to hang out at the graveyards. We used to go there, for birthdays and shit. So then here we go. Dead Edgar resolved to get back into the Western and out of the murder story. Dead Edgar didn't like being in the murder story. He wanted to return to the Western where he felt more comfort. So Dead Edgar resolved to get back into the Western and out of the murder story, which took place in the Flapper era. I just fucking love that. No one in the Flapper era was scared of him. He appeared in a speakeasy, and all the girls thought he was a riot and danced with him. Although with the plasma, they had a rough time holding on to him for the dance moves. I can't tell you how fucking overjoyed I am to be holding this. I haven't even fucking read it all. This is just fucking absolutely incredible here. I'm moving on to page 2 of this story. There's going to be a full read. I can't fucking believe it. These are actually copies, because when this stuff was presented to me, I viewed it as like a history museum artifact that human hands shouldn't even fucking touch it. In fact, Mazeppa would like copies of these, and Clee's sister, I know you want copies of these. I don't even feel comfortable copying this shit yet. This is absolutely fucking incredible. Now we're moving on to page 2 of the story. We joined this story already in progress. Dead Edgar missed his widow so much that he got distracted and told old Richard a story about the time she tried to kill him by tying spiders onto the ends of his mustache. He told a story about his widow trying to murder him by tying spiders onto the ends of his mustache. I know there's a bit of irony here in the fact that I don't have a mustache, but that's a fucking crazy mind right there. So let me start this. I'll go through this paragraph again here because that's fucking weighty shit. And dead Edgar missed his widow so much that he got distracted and told old Richard a story about the time he tried to kill him by tying spiders onto the ends of his mustache, but she got the knots too tight and strangled them. So the spiders got fucking strangled because she tied them too tight onto the mustache. This is classic Clee right here. That made all the spiders in Choctaw County turn against them and crawl toward them with terrible resolve. This is fucking gold. I'm just fucking delirious with joy here. I'm moving on here. There's going to be a full read on this thing. I'm telling you, it's worth. Patreon is worth it just for this. We're moving on in the story here. Now these Martians, I like that. There's no, I skipped a part. Clee explains how the Martians got there, but not me. I'm just fucking hopping right in. Now these Martians were highly intelligent female warriors. I actually liked the way back in the fucking heyday of Clee, he was writing strong female characters. That's fucking balls to the wall shit right there. Now these Martians were highly intelligent female warriors, and thank gosh they were. Scared of ghosts, because otherwise dead Edgar would never have gotten out of there alive. I fucking love this so much. When he came out of that berserk computer with all his ectoplasm, those girls just went wild, except for one, his widow, who was still trying to kill him. And this time, she meant to do the job and settle the score for keeps. So, she tricked him into a brown paper bag and popped it. And he went into hyperspace or whatnot. I love that. He went into hyperspace or whatnot. And came out into a drive-in gore movie. If you can follow this, I can. I love it. This is fucking amazing shit. So she put him in the brown paper bag, popped it, and he went into hyperspace or whatnot and came out in a drive-in gore movie as a deranged killer who drives a steamroller over an adult bookstore as a moral statement. That is fucking gold. There'll be more of that later on. I just keep peeking at myself with my Harry Potter glasses on. I'm getting a little dizzy here. I'm so excited about this. I can't even fucking stand it. Whew. This is so weird now because Richter and Clee's sister, who I love them both, just sort of got here, and the show actually ended a long time ago. There's no point in trying to get you caught up. I was fucking with Facebook, and I'm still live on Facebook, I think, until that phone battery goes out. There's people over there. I can't imagine anybody's watching. And if you're watching on Facebook, you should be donating. Over here, they're in the fucking super chat, dropping money and shit. Well, that's outstanding right there. Clee's sister, welcome. I was waiting on. I just couldn't wait for Clee's sister to get here. And then she sent a donation earlier in the day with a note that says, I'm going to be a little late tonight. No! Not tonight! Of all fucking nights! I have short stories from your brother from fucking 1988 that came out of a box in a fucking garage. You can't possibly be late tonight. So
It's their son's birthday. He's 26.
it's your son's birthday. Well, this is a hell of a fucking gift for him, man. I will try to get you some copies of this. I don't know if I can get them to you tonight, but he might be too fucked up if he's 26. He might not be able to process it tonight if he's having a proper party. So that's pretty badass right there. This has just been just an incredible week. Let's see here. Hell gigs. I'm going over the shit I did from the last year's show. And for whatever reason, I couldn't find episode 4. I think last year, right now, was episode 4. Nothing in my notes is tagged episode 4. So although I am organized, I'm not that organized. Clee's sister in the house. So I'm off book. Last week, I was pissing and moaning about how it's, bless you, my wife sneezed back there. She's a great sneezer, too. Not even insulting her. Her sneeze could just stab me in the neck. It's just absolutely amazing. And that's good, healthy sneeze. Not me. I sneeze like a, what a sneeze. Pow! She fucking sneezes. So I was pissing and moaning about how it is sad that restaurants are closing and people are selling buildings and the Pizza Huts that are closing look like fucking Pizza Huts, and that's all they're good for. So Clee and I went to one of the very first Pizza Huts, and we sat in a booth, and I don't know what made him think that the red cushion on the bench behind us wasn't attached properly, but he guessed that it wasn't, and it wasn't. So we flipped it around so the board was at our backs and the comfy part was into the fucking wall and pretended like nothing was wrong. Now, the waitress came over and Clee took it upon himself to order. The pizza crusts were a thing then. They had thin and crispy and thick and chewy. That was it. Thin crust, thick crust. But at the time, thin and crispy, thin and crispy, thick and chewy. That was it. Clee asked our waitress if they could make a pizza for us that was half thin and crispy and the other half of the pizza thick and chewy. And she looked like she was going to fucking faint. And I could tell she could see the wood behind us, but this conflict of how to make a thin crust and a thick crust pizza in one pizza just fucking melted her brain. And then she went and got someone, and I'm going to sound like the worst racist, but the Pizza Huts then actually had some Italian cooks in there, and that guy went fucking nuts. He came right at us, surprised. He says, I can do a thin and a crisp or a thick and a chew. I can all do a 2 and a 1. You pick it, this one or this one. What's the matter for you? What do you do with the seat? He fucking called us out on our bullshit. She was in terror, but he fucking bitch slapped us. We were in fucking trouble when he came out. You get the thin and a crispy or the thick and a chewy. Turn that fucking thing around and get the fuck out of here. And I sort of think we didn't even get a pizza that day, and that might have been the last time Clee and I went to a pizza place. And I'm so happy because I just fucking remember that story right now. The story might not make sense, but okay. I'm going back to my anniversary show of last year, was telling stories about Hell Gigs. My other friend, Win the Barber, who, if you watch Mayberry RFD, Floyd the Barber, he's like that guy, and he cut rich people's hair, and he got to be a fan of mine, and I lost like a whole month and a half of work going right into Christmas, and our daughter was very little. We didn't give a shit. We can rough it, but Christmas for a little kid, it's fucking gone. So he sat there and he was clipping rich people's hair with scissors in his hand, like fucking Sweeney Todd, going, you should really consider hiring my Amish friend for your Christmas party. And I got so much fucking work from him threatening people with his scissors. It's really hard to turn down a business opportunity when there's a man that has the scissors at your throat. So I actually made more money that year from that month and a half of Christmas parties than I would have made in like fucking 5 months of stand-up comedy. So he booked me for one of his other rich friends up in Poconos at a pig roast. He was going to drive me up there in this old Cadillac, nicest man you want to meet. The drunk driving rules weren't quite as strict then. He wasn't drinking at all, but I had an open can of light beer in the front of this old gray Cadillac, and we hit a stretch of the Poconos that was all fucking backed up. You know where they have the reptile factories and all that shit. The reptile come in and pet the alligator, and I'm freaking out because I'm doing a show at a pig roast for like $300. If I don't get there, I'm not going to get fucking paid. And I have this beer can in my hand, and the traffic wasn't moving, so there's fucking 300 cars in front of us, and I just start ranting. I'm there. I really appreciate this win, but I am so fucked. If I don't get to this fucking party, that lady's gonna go nuts. You already told me she has a fucking temper. She's gonna be pissed off. She didn't even want to book me. You fucking talked her into this. Now, there's no fucking way I go up late. And then I looked over, and there was a policeman on a motorcycle, just fucking sitting there. I guess he was supposed to be trying to sort out the traffic and all that shit. But he looked in and he saw my can of beer and he said, "Is there a problem in there?" And I just completely ignored the beer and I said, "Yes, there's a problem. His friend hired me to perform at a pig roast that starts in 5 minutes and we'll never get through this fucking traffic and it's going to cost me $300 fucking dollars and I'm a nervous wreck and I didn't even want to book me and he talked me into this. It's his friend and she's going to be fucking mad and we're not going to make it." And then he says, well, where is this? "It's at Peck's Pond." And he goes, "Well, just follow me up the side of the road and we got a police escort with a motorcycle with me with a fucking open can of beer and his Cadillac up, and we fucking motored past 100 fucking cars that were fucking stuck there, and he boomfed us right in to the Peck's Pond place. This thing was so far into the woods, and my friend Win the barber, he is a peckerhead too. He likes to fuck with people. So we had to go so far into the woods that the lady whose party it was had to meet us at the general store parking lot at a certain time, and she wasn't there yet, which made us happy because she can't yell at me for being late if she's not fucking there yet. So now Win the barber, he thought all this shit up, and I'm silly and immature, and I just fucking went along with it. He goes, "Let's stick with her a little bit." Sure, why not? Now that we solved my problem, let's get her fucking mad at me. Okay, all right. So he has a plan that when she pulls in, I would be laying in the parking lot with the open beer, and she'll come in and go nuts, and then he'll just improvise the whole thing. So that's what happened. I'm laying in, half in the car, half out, and she comes tear-assing in, and she goes, "What's the matter with him?" And Win goes real disgusted. "Oh, he's drunk." He goes, "Don't worry about a thing. I know his show." And he took my hat off my fucking head and he put it on his head and he starts performing my show in the fucking parking lot for the lady. It's an old man with a fucking suit on. He goes, "I was driving down the horse and buggy and his four-way flashers and light the candle and blow out." She goes, "I'm not paying you, you fucking drunk asshole. I'm not fucking paying for this." And the story doesn't actually end there because sometimes when you dick with people like that, they have a sense of humor and laugh about it, and sometimes they get so fucking mad that they don't forgive you right away. We were kind of sort of there. So we got in to the picnic, and there's probably 100 people there. It was a gorgeous place up at Peck's Pond, and I asked them, "Is it okay if I curse?" It's grown-ups, and they're drinking, and I'm banging off sheep, and fuck you in a bucket of goo, and scrapple sucking sluts, and all this and that happy horse shit. And then I said something, and everything got quiet. And then I thought, what the fuck did I say to offend these people? And so I called them out. I said, well, wait a minute. I'm over there, fuck you, in a bucket of goo, scrapple sucking sluts, no problem. And apparently I said something now that pisses you off. And I demand you share with me what is the thing that I said to offend you to the point at staring at me like I just fucking was found guilty in a murder trial. And real calmly, I said, well, it's not you, there's a bear behind you. There was a fucking bear behind me, and they don't tell me, they just got fucking quiet to sit and see if it was gonna fucking eat me or not. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm like, I turn around, there's a fucking bear like fucking 5 feet behind me, sniffing around a fucking pig roast. Not one motherfucker said anything. They didn't even have phones to take pictures in. That would have been fucking snapping away pictures. And I look back at the bear, I'm like, okay, it's intermission. And we take a little fucking intermission, and then the bear ran off, and I was saying, if you try to steal any of my material to perform at any fucking bear gigs, I'll fucking, oh. So, there's another train. So, again, my stories don't really have a point or an end to them. I've been babbling here for damn near an hour and a half. I am going to wrap this up. Richter, I owe you a Zoom. Clee's sister, I will share this stuff with you, and I'm definitely going to have a reading on Patreon. It's my wife's birthday week. We love yous. Thank you so much for all the support, and I'm going to wrap this up, and be interesting to see the comments over on Hatebook. But you fuckers rock. In fact, I'm going to turn off. Don't anybody go yet. I'll do this. Because, see, they won't get to see this. Watch this. They won't get to... I clicked on the thing that says the stream is ending soon. And it's coming over on YouTube. But they won't get to see that over there on Hatebook. So now, while that says stream ending soon, I'm going to lean in here. A real dickhead. Click on this. Finish that. That one's ended. And it's me again. Let's see, I'll go back here, see. And they're not here now. I got rid of them. They were supposed to just get a teeny little preview, and then I shut that fucker down. Oh wait, there's one other thing I gotta do here. We'll hit that. So there's that. Oh, over here on my iPad, still ending. I'm coming back. Here I come. There. I don't know when you'll get to hear this, but there it is. I know there's not... This would have been more awesome if I had more additional show to present to you now, but I don't really see if Sparky's still awake or not. Are you snoozing in there? You guys, she'll be a little mad, but you guys get Sparky right there. Because fuck them assholes on Hatebook. They shouldn't get the big Sparky finale. She's checking shit out. Put her on the shoulder. Oh, she doesn't want to go on the shoulder. She's a little mad at me. But see, Sparky, I just did it. I didn't want to torment you, but I did it for the fans. We love yous. I'm signing off. Mrs. Amishcomic says, thanks for all the birthday wishes. Sparky says, you're going to pay for this later, dickhead. And that's probably true. I'm going to put this over here. I'm actually signing off now. Thanks, folks. I really appreciate it. And I've said too much. Hang on. I'm going to go do this again. Stream ending. There it is. I can still talk. Stream ending. It's going to end. Here it goes.